Hello everybody, Guilty here, and welcome back to A Sucker for Steelbooks. It has been a while. I do apologize for that, but I finally have a decent amount of Blu-rays to talk about. This should be a pretty damn fun episode. One series in particular I'm really excited to finally get to talk about on the channel. But you can see I got my slime shirt on to celebrate the announcement of Season 3. Fuck yes, that is just so awesome. I cannot wait. Real quick, just to use that to lean into something, I want to say real quick that the 10 Swords Season 2 box set, you guys know I picked this up because I made a full video on it, and that is precisely why I'm actually not going to be talking about this in this video. If you want to know about the 10 Swords Season 2 box set, go check out the video I made on it. I will leave a link to it in the description down below. The reason I'm doing this is because because in this video I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite anime series of all time that I've literally never gotten to talk about on this channel before, and I want to give that one the spotlight, and I want to give that the pick of the month. So that's why I'm going to exclude this. Plus, I already gave it its own video, so it's like this would literally auto take pick of the month if I let it in here. Slime will always auto take pick of the month. It is my favorite anime at this point in time. So this is absolutely god tier. I adore this box set. This would absolutely take pick of the month if I was allowing it to be in this. I do want to say I did not give enough love to this this freaking art book that they included. This art book is absolutely incredible. You can see all the work they put into this art book. You literally have like pictures of all the characters. You got Albus, Sophia, all the Biscuiteers, Hinata up there. Like, they put so much work in this. And at the very end here, you get this whole freaking essay about like the creation of the series, and I think you even get a couple, I think there's even a couple things in here from the creator, Fuse, and then I forget the other guy's name, the creator of the series though. Like, yeah, look at this. So series composition, Kazuyuki Haduyasu, director Atsushi Nakayama. I feel horrible, I'm so sorry. But you can see this says, Season 2 illustrates Rimuru's determination, and then you have like a big, long, like, analysis. And this was super interesting. I've read this a couple times. It was super interesting, and I really just wanted to give some more love to this book real quick before I go ahead and take it away. So like I said, this is not going to be talked about in this video because I've already talked about it in depth in its own separate video on the channel. So if you would like to know more about this box set, go check that video out. And I am just going to stick this right back here on my shelf so we can admire it the whole time we're doing this. Because obviously, like, that's kind of like the honorary pick of the month. But I just, no way I can let that have it. When first of all, I already gave the slime pick of the month in the last episode of A Sucker for Steelbooks with the Season 1 Steelbook. And it's time. We're doing it, baby. Let's go. Choo-choo, yeah! Dragon Maid, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This is one of my favorite animes of all time. I adore this show. I worship this fucking show. And through sheer coincidence, I ended up getting both of the Blu-rays in for this same episode. I got this one in quite a while ago. I picked up the Season 1 Blu-ray like months and months ago. But this literally like just came out. I got it today, actually. The day I'm recording this, I actually received it today. So this is Season 2, and this is Season 1. This show, I watched this show for the first time like a little over a year ago, probably at this point. This show was one of the patient zeros for me becoming a fucking weeb, for me becoming an anime fan. This was one of the very first animes that I fell head over heels in love with, and I have probably watched this show like 20 times since then. I adore every single fucking second of this show. Let's start off by talking about Season 1, and then we'll talk about Season 2. So here is Season 1 of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This show is just this show is the literal definition of serotonin. This show is the happiest, most wholesome freaking anime you'll ever watch. You will have a massive smile on your face from like ear to ear, and then out of nowhere the show will also drop like insane like fight scenes, and then it will have like some really like hard-hitting depressing shit, and it's just like this show can do everything, can do literally everything. It is absolutely insane how fucking masterful the show is. The writing is so good, the characters are amazing. Literally every single time a new character is introduced in this show, within like milliseconds they automatically are like, oh, that might be my new favorite character of the show, honestly. Like, you get Toru. Toru's a great character, and, like, Toru is a great character. She's not one of my absolute favorite characters, but I do really like Toru. So you start off with her, and then as you go through the series, you meet Kana, who's my favorite character of the show, and then you meet Lukawa and Fafnir, and then eventually you meet Elma, who's my second favorite character of the show, and then in season 2, you meet Ilulu, and every single time they introduce one of those characters, within minutes, you just absolutely love that character. Not even minutes, within seconds, you just absolutely love that character. Like, it is so damn funny. Like, Fafnir, for example. Fafnir gets introduced into the show, and he is, like, supposed to be, like, this absolute, like, death god of a dragon. Like, he is, like, pure evil and hates humanity with all his might, and then he comes in, he sees them playing a video game, and he gets like super enamored with it, and then from that point to the end of the show, he's this massive like gamer weeb otaku, and it's the fucking funniest, most wholesome shit you've ever seen in your life. This show will just have you on cloud 9 from beginning to end. It is just absolutely immaculate. I really cannot say that enough. I think that Crunchyroll has the first episode of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid available for you to watch for free on Crunchyroll's official website, so not website, YouTube channel. So if you want to go check out the first episode, you absolutely can. But the whole thing's on Crunchyroll, both seasons, sub and dub. And oh my god, I can't believe, I'm really glad I didn't forget that. I watched the show dub, and I think this dub is legit one of the best dubs I have ever heard. This dub is absolutely fucking phenomenal. Every single voice in here just kills. Sarah Lee Ann as Toru is absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to hear her as Power in Chainsaw Man. Thing is, I'm watching Chainsaw Man subbed. I think once it's all completed, I'm gonna rewatch the whole show dubbed, because I have a feeling I'm gonna like the dub more because of Sarah Lee Ann as Power. I do like Ryan Colt Levy as Denji as well, but I think Sarah Lee Ann is gonna be the one because I absolutely love her in this show as Toru. I think her voice just perfectly matches the character. I just love her voice in general. I just think she has such a great dub voice, so I really love her. But then you get Jad Saxton as Kana. Jad Saxton, if you don't know, is the English dub voice actor for Chika Fujiwara from Kaguya-sama. She's also Amiya and Uzaki-chan and a few other characters. She's Konako in High School DxD. Awesome voice actor. And one thing I want to say about Jad Saxton's performance as Kana, because it's something that I noticed while watching the show, because like I said, I've watched this show start to finish like 20 fucking times since, I've watched this show like 20 fucking times at this point, and I will watch it so many more times as my life continues. One thing I really want to say about this that I absolutely love is that in the first season, Kana has a very pretty typical voice, I'm not saying that to be a negative, it's just a very, normal type. There's not really anything all that, there's not really anything to really talk about with it. It's just a very good voice. It matches the character well. But in season 2, I swear to God, she tries something with Kana, and it pays off in fucking spades. She does this thing in season 2. If you hear it, if you listen to the dub, if you watch the show dubbed, and you go from season 1 to season 2, you will hear it change in Kana's voice. And at first, I genuinely thought it was them changing the voice actor, but I looked into it and no, Jad Saxton is still the voice actor in season 2. I guess I'll bring in the season 2 Blu-ray now. But the thing is, I absolutely this is so clear to me every time I watch it. It sounds like she really tries something with the voice in season 2, where she it kind of sounds like she's biting the inner of her mouth and doing something like this, like that. And the reason more is because in the first season she'll be like, oh, yeah, Lady Toru, that'll be it. Lady, I love you, Miss Kobayashi. But in the second season, she'll be like, Lady Toru, I love you, Miss Kobayashi. I don't know what it is, but it's such a cute little attention to detail of that character. And that's just something I want to point out, because dubs get so much shit, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of shit. I'm sure a lot of you out there are probably rolling your eyes right now. DK, why are you watching dubs? Come on, man. But seriously, this should be a testament, because this dub is phenomenal. Every single person in this dub put so much love into it. They did such a great job with their performance. Seriously, don't sleep on this. If you watch Dragon Maid, if you love it and you're cheering me already, you're like, yes, Dragon Maid's the shit, DK. Go rewatch it dubbed. Give it one watch dubbed. I guarantee you will absolutely love it. I'm not saying the sub is bad, and eventually I'll probably watch it subbed. I don't know. Maybe next time I'll watch it subbed. Maybe I'll finally watch it subbed next time. I mean, I'm literally 20 watches in. I should probably watch it subbed at least once, right? But seriously, maybe just give it one chance dubbed. I guarantee you will see how good it is. It's amazing. It's an amazing fucking dub. But yeah, Dragon Maid is the absolute shit. This is my pick of the month. Obviously, this is an absolute S+. This is one of my favorite animes and one of the best animes I've ever watched. I didn't talk too much about Season 2. Season 2, they do introduce Ilulu, who is another awesome character. Like I said, the show works its magic in seconds. You love Ilulu almost immediately. And I also want to point out at the end, you have this massive, awesome showdown between Toru and Elmo, which was a really awesome moment of the show as well. I also want to say, both of the openings, absolutely fucking incredible. Fauna is the band who does the openings, and they are absolutely just awesome. The openings are so fucking good. I think I like the Season 2 opening just a teeny tiny bit more, but I love the Season 1 as well. This one's Blue Sky Rhapsody, and then I Know Supreme is the Season 2 opening. Just, I really cannot say enough about this show, honestly. You can probably tell right now, I absolutely adore Dragon Maid. Like I said numerous times, one of my favorite animes of all time. This was one of the patient zeros for me becoming a weeb, and I thank it so much for that, because being a weeb is the fucking best thing ever, and anime is peak. Anime is love, anime is life, and Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is easily one of the main reasons that I fell in love with it. So I dedicate this video, this episode of A Sucker for Steelbooks, to Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. If you have not watched this show, treat yourself. Alrighty, let's move on to My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission. This was fucking amazing. Like, this was so effing good. I absolutely loved, what is it? Heroes Rising, this one. I absolutely loved this one. Two Heroes was very good as well, but for me, Two Heroes is easily the weakest one, because it just felt like a very, like, typical non-canon shonen movie. This one, though, this one was so cool because of how it ended. Obviously, they're all non-canon shonen movies, so, you know, there's that. But this one I thought was just really, really cool. But this one, dude, I did not think it was possible to top that one, but this one absolutely topped it, because they introduced this character, Rhodey, right there. Rhodey, played by Ryan Cole Levy, at least in the dub, and he's awesome. I actually absolutely love that character. That character is so, so awesome. I don't really want to spoil anything about his character, because it's really cool, and you should definitely watch the movie for yourself, but I really, really like that character. He was super cool. And then the villain as well, what's his, Fleck Turn, I think is his name. He is super cool as well. Again, I don't really want to spoil it, because it's really, really awesome when they finally reveal him at the end, because this movie is really cool. Like, this movie kicks off and is, like, really fucking crazy, like, right off the bat. I don't know, I just think this movie was really, really good. I will say, okay, I guess I'll give a quick, light little spoiler warning here for anybody who cares. One thing I will say about this movie is that early on in the movie, it kind of represents a whole thing where Deku kind of becomes a bit of a, like, a misunderstood criminal, kind of, basically, so you kind of have a bit of that whole storyline going on, and it's really, really cool, and you're really, really enjoying it. It's like, oh, that's different. Deku is being, like, chased by the cops and shit. That's a very cool and interesting and unique thing to do with that character and with My Hero Academia as a whole. But halfway through the show, halfway through the movie, it just kind of gets thrown out. You don't really ever hear about it again. So that's kind of unfortunate. I wish they could have at least wrapped that up, at least in like a nice, neat little bow. And another thing I will say about this, I want to make very clear that I really, really loved this movie, and I give this movie an S tier easily. Awesome, and easily the best of all three of these. I know I gave the Heroes Rising an S+, but I'll just come out and say it. My Hero Academia's grade as a whole for me has dropped a little bit since I've come down from the high of watching it. It's kind of a normie anime, isn't it? Like, it doesn't really have a whole lot to say, and it constantly will. But one of the problems I have with this movie, it will constantly just hit you and like, just go on and on and on with its action scenes, and that's just something I'm not a big fan of in anime, when they just, like, action is cool, don't get me wrong, action is very cool, but when it just goes on and on and on and on, and that is what happens in this movie, and this one too, actually, like, seriously, I rewatched this with my sister as well, my littlest sister, who's also a big My Hero fan, and man, you get to the end of this, and it's just like, oh my god, dude, this is literally like 30 minutes straight of ridiculous action scenes, and same with this one. It's just absolutely absurd, and eventually you literally just want to go, oh my god, wrap it up, please. Like, this, yeah, it's cool, I get it, My Hero, you got a huge dick, I get it, but let's wrap it up, please, because I'm getting tired and I want to go to bed. But then they end it, and the ending is also very, very good with what happens with Rhodey there. I really, really fucking love this movie. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. One more thing I will say about this movie, though. I was actually a little bit hesitant to actually watch this movie. I actually thought it wasn't going to be a very good movie because of this whole thing. The stealth suits, you probably saw these freaking everywhere. Like, every single figure manufacturer made, like, another Deku and Bakugo and Todoroki in these stealth suits. And to me, I thought the whole thing was just going to be some gimmick so they could sell more figures, put the characters in more outfits so they can sell more merch and stuff. So I thought it was going to be really, really gimmicky. But they get this stealth suit is literally in the movie for like 2 minutes in the opening scene, and then it never shows up ever again. So I don't know. I feel I really feel bad for anybody who bought any figures of them in their stealth suits. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure they're probably going to go on clearance though. So if you want to pick some up, yeah. Overall, a really cool movie. It's My Hero Academia. If you love My Hero Academia, you'll love this movie. You'll absolutely love it easily. It does everything you want from a My Hero movie. It's very entertaining. I've only watched it once. I will say that. Like I said, my opinion has gone down a little bit on this one because of just how ridiculous the end is. I mean, it's awesome. I love what happens at the end of this. You know what happens with Deku and Bakugo at the end of this. It's very, very, very awesome. This is Heroes Rising, by the way. But I think this one's a little bit cooler as well. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. Very cool movie. I like it. I'd recommend it if you're a My Hero fan. Definitely give it a watch. It's good. I like it. I'm glad I picked it up. Alrighty. Oh, so you guys probably noticed I went on a pretty big break of YouTube. I didn't upload things for a while, and in that time I watched quite a few shows. And by far, well, aside from Overlord, by far my favorite show I watched in that time was Arifurata, from Commonplace to World's Strongest. So this is an anime I'd seen a lot because I'm a big isekai fan. I really like isekais, if you can't tell, obviously. This show I'd seen quite a bit, and it was usually met with bad things. Usually people would say this show is like not very good, or it would be like a roast video, or just people shitting on the show in general. So I constantly kept seeing it. It kept popping up in my Crunchyroll thing, like top picks for you. This was always in there. And then one day I was at work, and I got the notification that season 3 of this had been announced, and I was like, my God, it is 3 seasons? I've literally never heard anybody say one good thing about that show. So I was like, fuck it. It's gonna get a 3rd season. I'm gonna go check it out. So I did, and look, I'll admit right off the bat, this show is not good, but I fucking love it. This is the absolute definition of a guilty pleasure, dude. Like, this show is a very typical OP as all hell isekai protagonist isekai. You have this guy here, Hajime, who is the biggest edgelord you've ever seen in any anime ever. And he is OP as all hell, and it's just a typical isekai. But this one was just so goddamn entertaining because of how over the top he is. And this chick as well, Yue. Yue is awesome as well. She's my second favorite character. Though the soundtrack is awesome as well. The opening is awesome. And it sets it up very, it has similarities to Rising of the Shield Hero. Just like, it's a lot, just take what happens at the beginning of Rising of the Shield Hero and like make it like 1,000 times edgier. That's how this show starts off. Like, this show is so edgy. It's like, it's not like Classroom of the Elite level edgy, but it's really fucking edgy. Like, the entire fucking show, Hajime just goes around constantly being like, they are my enemies and I kill my enemies. Like, it's the cringiest fucking thing you've ever heard in your life. But dear God, do I love it. This show is like one of those, back when I watch horror movies all the time. I used to be a big horror guy. Let me see if I have one down here that I could use as an example. Oh yeah, I got one. This movie right here, this is The Fanatic. I can't believe I still have this Blu-ray. What the fuck am I still having this for? This movie is god-awful, and it's so fucking stupid and so fun to watch. I wouldn't say this show is the exact counter of this, but it pretty much is. Like, this show, the whole time you're watching it, you're gonna say, oh my God, this writing is awful. This writing is awful. This character development is really not very good. Aside from the opening, this show really is kind of not very good at all, but I'm like having an absolute blast with it. That is what Arifureta is in a nutshell. It is, like I said, it's not good. It's not a genuinely good show at all, but dear God, do I love it. This show is so much fun. I loved it so much that I even went and picked up, oops. I'm sorry, Satsuki. I even went and picked up the fucking Yue Nendoroid, man. I freaking love Arifureta for all of the wrong reasons. Although, I will say this before we move on. I think season 2 actually was really good, genuinely. Like, season 1 is all, like, yeah, there's a lot of stories behind the creation of this, where White Fox had it originally, and then like, it went through, like, so many different things, and eventually went over to another studio, and they came out and said there was, like, so many problems with it, they couldn't get it work. That's why the CGI, that's another thing, the CGI in here is awful. Seriously, like, the show just exudes exudes that so bad it's good energy. But that's why I love it, man. It's really fun. I can't even imagine how many times I'm gonna watch this fucking show over the course of my life. It's just such a fun watch because it's just so bad, and I love every single second of it. But like I said, I actually think season 2 was like legitimately good. Like they clearly hired some better writers in season 2, and they got Midna Rain to do the opening. Of course, Midna Rain, who did Like Flames for 10 Sora season 2. Oops. Yeah, that chick. She absolutely crushed it. The opening rules. Not as good as the season 1 though. I think the season 1 opening is fucking awesome. What is that one called? Flare by Void Chords. Absolutely awesome opening. But yeah, I think season 2 was actually fucking good. I won't talk about season 2 anymore. I'll wait for me to have the season 2 Blu-ray because you know I'm gonna buy that shit when it comes out. But I love this show. I don't care what you people say. I fully admit it's not a good show. It's not. It deserves all the flack it gets, but I love it. And season 2, not really. I think season 2 was like genuinely pretty fucking good. But seriously, like if you just want to laugh, you just want to watch something that's really cringy and edgy and just, like I said, so bad that it's good. If you want to watch an anime equivalent of a so bad that it's good, go watch Arifurata, man. It's so good. I have to point this one scene out as well because this scene fucking killed me. There's a scene towards the end of the show where they have like this arc where there's this little mermaid girl who's been taken by like slave traders and shit. And they're gonna like trade her and get a shit ton of money for it. And this dude who was like just the most over top mustache twirling evil dude is just sitting there with like his feet on them. He's like, do something cool so the audience will pay more. And then Hajime is just on the top and he's like, funny, that's what I was about to say to you, asshole. And then he jumps down and immediately shoots him in the head in front of like the entire crowd of people. I'm like, oh my god, dude, I love this show. Arifurata from Commonplace to World's Strongest. Although I do want to say, this Blu-ray is gorgeous. I love this Blu-ray. Look at that. Look at that cover artwork. You got Yue and Hajime right there. That is awesome. Then you take it off, and you have another awesome cover artwork. I do not like this chick. Let me say that. I do not like this girl at all. I like all these other characters. I do not like her, though. But yeah. You take that off, you have that, and then this Blu-ray, like seriously, they went all out on this Blu-ray right there. There's Hajime and Yue right there. I really can't stress enough, I genuinely fucking love this show. I fully admit all of the flaws that all of you people have with it, but I love it. This show is absolutely one of my guilty pleasure animes. I'm glad I finally have one of those, because it's like, anime is so good, it's like, I can't find one that I like love to watch, but it's like so, like, it's just not good, but I still love watching it. I finally have that. All right, now, I know it's very long and you guys are like, DK, this video is way too long, but trust me, we actually are going to be wrapping it up right now because the last two things I haven't actually watched these, so I'm not going to be saying too much about these, and I feel really bad about it. Well, I feel really bad about this one. This one is Belle. This is the steelbook for Belle. This is a movie that came out. It's by Mamoru Hosoda. I have heard that name before. I've heard that name mentioned very, very positively before. And I saw this, and I saw a bunch of people posted reviews of it. And the reviews for this movie, I don't know if I've ever seen a more divisive, like, movie in my life, because I would watch one review of this movie, and they would say it's the best thing since sliced bread. Like, it's an absolute masterpiece, like, on tier with Your Name. And then I watched the very next review on my recommended, and it would just rip the movie apart. Like, it's like you either absolutely adore this movie or you absolutely despise this fucking movie, and I have not watched it yet. So you're probably asking, DK, why'd you buy the steelbook if you haven't? Because look at this steelbook, man. Look at that. That is such an awesome looking steelbook. How could I have said no to this? And like the freaking title of the freaking series, A Sucker for Steelbooks, that's me. When I see a steelbook that looks this good for a movie that I've heard it can be really, really, really fucking good. If I see this thing, I can't skip it, man. Come on, I can't skip it. And in my defense, the next time I went to that Target, they were completely sold out. These were all gone. So I am pretty glad that I did pick this up. But hopefully the movie holds up. I haven't watched it yet because I'm just really, really scared. But I've heard it's really good. I have seen one clip from the movie. I heard a song from it, and it was actually very, very good. So eventually I'm gonna get around to watching this. Eventually I definitely will. I probably will by the end of the year. I have no excuse. I bought this like months ago. I honestly do. At one point I did kind of forget that I did though, so there was that. But seriously, I have no excuse. I should have watched this so long ago, but I still have it, so I apologize. But I will eventually, and then hopefully maybe I will talk about it at some point. But this other one, I do have a reason for not watching. This movie right here, I actually just picked this up yesterday. This movie. A Silent Voice. Oh man, a lot of you are probably like, oh my god, that movie's so good. This movie I have heard non-stop amazing things about. This movie gets like the same amount of praise and like acclaimment. Is that a word? Acclaimment, being critically acclaimed. Like people say this movie is like the same level of awesome as Your Name, and like constantly. It's not like Belle where like half people say that and then the other half say it's trash. No, I have heard nothing but incredible things about this movie. I've heard how I've heard this movie is absolutely fucking life changing, and it will have you bawling your eyes out like a little bitch. And I saw this at Target the other day, and just like Belle, I saw it and was like, I cannot pass this up. But this movie, I'm about 1,000% sure I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna absolutely love it. And you're also saying right now, well, DK, why haven't you watched it yet then? That's precisely why I haven't watched this yet, is because I didn't want, once again, for it to take away the spotlight from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I didn't want to finally get to talk about this fucking series that I love to death, and then have to sit here and explain this masterpiece and tell you why it's actually the pick of the month. So that's why I'm saving it. And I actually might even save this all the way till next year, because I watched Your Name for the first time this year, so I had this one this year, and I'd really rather kind of wait to watch this one next year and really get to like, because like Your Name, I was hooked on I was on cloud nine with Your Name for like 5 months straight, I think, and I would like to have the same experience with Silent Voice, so I think I'm gonna save it all the way till next year, but I'm absolutely stoked. Like, it's killing me to not watch this fucking movie right now, dude. It really is. It looks so good. I've heard so many things about it. This steelbook is absolutely gorgeous, even if I don't like this movie, man, which is, I highly, highly, highly doubt that will happen. But this steelbook is gorgeous. Look at this steelbook. This thing is absolutely drop dead beautiful, man. I love this steelbook. And yeah, I've heard absolutely just incredible, incredible things about it. And I actually just found out recently that the creator of this story is also the creator of To Your Eternity, which is like one of my fucking favorite animes right now. I'm obsessed with To Your Eternity. Oh my god, season 2 has been so good, guys. Please tell me you're watching To Your Eternity. It's fucking insane. It's fucking immaculate. But yeah, I am beyond stoked to watch this movie. I hear you guys. I hear you guys. I'm gonna watch this, I promise. And when I do, I will definitely get a chance to talk about it. I don't know how, but I will definitely make it happen when I eventually watch this. But like I said, I think I am gonna save this one for next year, although I couldn't pass up on the steelbook. And there was only one left after this. There was 2 left. I took the second to last one, so there was 1 left. So yeah, definitely could not skip this. I absolutely had to pick this up because this steelbook is gorgeous, man. Absolutely gorgeous. This is genuinely one of the nicest steelbooks I have ever seen. Look at that picture. That is amazing. The only thing I know about this movie is that it's about a deaf girl who gets bullied by a kid. That's the only thing I know about it. But I have heard that this movie will literally like change your fucking life. And I am absolutely stoked to finally watch it. But like I said, we'll talk about that at another day. So there you have it, everybody. That was the newest episode of A Sucker for Steelbooks. I hope it was worth the wait. It was certainly quite a long time there before from the last episode to this one. But I hope it was worth it. I hope you guys had fun. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Leave all of your Dragon Maid freaking happiness in the comment section down below. I would love to have conversations with you about Dragon Maid because I adore this fucking show. So yeah, if you want to leave anything down there, absolutely do so. I will absolutely enjoy talking to you guys about Dragon Maid or any of these shows or any of these movies. Hell, if you want to talk about Arifurata, fuck yeah, let's go, bro. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And this is DK Gilzine signing out. I have to pick up Satsuki now because I feel really bad about it.